What if I told you that the universe behaves differently just because you're looking at it? Sounds crazy, right? But that's exactly what the famous double-slit experiment reveals. Let's dive into this mind-bending concept of wave-particle duality. 1. What is the double-slit experiment? I will explain the concept in simple terms. This experiment demonstrates one of the most puzzling phenomena in quantum physics, wave-particle duality. It shows that particles like electrons, which we think of as tiny solid objects, can behave like both particles and waves depending on whether or not they are being observed. This challenges the way we understand reality, suggesting that the act of observation itself can change how particles behave. 2. A simple analogy. Imagine you have a board with two narrow slits in it and a wall behind it. If you throw marbles, solid particles, at the board, they either go through one slit or the other, leaving two neat bands on the wall behind the slits. This is exactly what you'd expect from something that behaves like a particle. 3. When electrons enter the scene. Instead of marbles, now imagine firing electrons, which are tiny subatomic particles, at the slits one by one. At first, you expect them to behave like marbles and create two bands on the wall. But surprisingly, they create an interference pattern, which looks like the kind of pattern waves make when they overlap, like ripples in a pond. 4. The twist. Observing the electrons. Now, let's add a detector to check which slit each electron goes through. The moment we try to observe the electrons, the interference pattern disappears. Instead, we see the two bands, as if the electrons behaved like simple particles. It's as if the electrons knew they were being watched and changed their behavior accordingly. 5. What does this mean? The double-slit experiment shows us that particles like electrons exist in a superposition. They can be in multiple states, like waves and particles, until they are observed. It challenges our understanding of reality. Is the universe fundamentally wave-like? Do particles decide how to behave based on observation? What do you think this means about reality? Is the universe fundamentally connected to our perception? Let me know in the comments below.